let's just have a seat and hold on to this consciousness that we are the very face, we are the very expression of God. And with that intention in mind, let's just close our eyes and take a deep breath in. And as we take our deep breath in, let's just breathe out and release anything that is running around through our minds, any thoughts, any feelings and emotions, any of the activities of the morning. Just let it all go so that we can be fully present in this moment. And as we focus on our breath right now, let's breathe in that light of God, the light of wisdom, truth, inspiration, guidance, strength. And now feel this energy and this light moving into our heart center, the center of love, and connect to that power of love that is unifying, harmonizing, lifting, healing, knows our oneness, is eternal, no beginning, no end. And now allowing this light and love that is the nature of God and is our very divine nature, our true nature, allowing this light and love to move out into this sacred space, lifting all who are here present, either physically or virtually, filling with light, the light of wisdom and the love that is our nature. And this light and love goes out into our country, out into our world, especially to all of those that are in pain and suffering, experiencing violence, starvation, all beings. And we envelop our world leaders in the light of truth and the love of compassion and empathy. And letting this light and love envelop our planet Earth, we say thank you, and so it is. And what we do and have been doing for the last, since January, throughout this whole year, is we set our intention on Sunday to remember that we are one, that we are interconnected, that what happens to you impacts me. And one of the things that we are doing right now is we're taking a journey with the Dalai Lama and the Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and their entire message, aside from the fact that it's joy, how do we connect to this joy in an everyday situation, especially challenging ones. But what they're really focusing on is you cannot do that without understanding our interconnectedness in life, that this is at the very heart of who we are as beings. So let's just stay with our intention right now, because with so much sense of separation going on everywhere, you know, if we hear it in the news, we hear it, and this is not political, this is just my observation. You know, a lot of finger pointing, a lot of very ugly language that I'm just hearing in general. And part of what our message is that how I engage with you impacts me and impacts our world. So the divine in me right now sees and blesses the divine in each and every one of you. And I'd like you to look at your neighbor, wherever it is, and say that to them too. The divine in me sees and beholds the divine in you. And now say hello and welcome in however you would like to do that. And I will say welcome to those of you that are joining us virtually. It's great to have you here, all of you, the physical and the virtual. This is a beautiful fall morning, and we could be doing a lot of different things, and we have chosen to come together, to love, support, to enjoy each other. And I'm so glad to have you all here with me this morning. And now we are going to sing another song. Let's stand up again.
What a beautiful song. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Reverend Annie, and I'm your platform leader. So let's set our intention for today with our statement of faith together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe, and in my life and affairs, God the good. Yes. Our daily word reading is called Inner Peace. Centered in God, I experience absolute peace. Storms may rage on the surface of an ocean, but deep below, the waters are calm. The fish know to stay in that peaceful place and let the storm pass. In prayer each day, I choose to turn my thoughts to the peace of God within me. On the surface of my mind, the appearance of lack or conflict or fear may toss my thoughts about to worry, but I then gently release those thoughts and move my intention deeper to a place of peace within me. I take time for prayer throughout my day as I rest in the stillness. I am serene, mind, body, and spirit. Each time I center myself in the peace of God, I experience absolute peace and tranquility. Our scripture for today is Psalm 18, verse 30. And it says, the promise of the Lord proves true. He is a shield for all who take refuge in him. And our affirmation is, I allow joy to move in me, through me, and as me. And so it is. Now, the AHA Band, again.
Good morning. And how about a Beatles song? 1, 2, 3, 4. What would you think if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get high with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. What do I do when my love is away? Does it worry me alone? How do I feel by the end of the day? Are you sad because you're on your own? No, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? I need somebody to love. Could it be anybody? I want somebody to love. Would you believe in a love at first sight? Yes, I'm certain that it happens all the time. What do you see when you turn out the lights? I can't tell you, but I know it's mine. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. I get by with a little help from everybody. I want somebody to love. Could it be anybody? I just want someone to love. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get high with a little help from my friends. Yes, I get by with a little help from my friends. A little help from my friends. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan, and the band. Okay, We get by with a little help from our friends, right? I sometimes need lots of help from my friends. I don't know about you, but that is really what makes life so wonderful, is that sometimes we can remember, I'm not in this thing alone, and I don't have to do it alone. So, today we're going to be continuing our journey with the book that is by the Dalai Lama and the Archbishop Desmond Tutu, the Book of Joy, which is about looking at how to have joy in a changing situations, in life's challenges. How do we live with joy? So we look at these two men that are having this discussion. And the book was written, I think it was 2016, so it is a fairly current book, which means they're both at the very later parts of their life. They're both like in their 80s and 90s at this particular time. And what we can look at right away is that both of these men fill this book with little sense of humor. They constantly are kidding each other. They're laughing. They're really expressing joy. And if we look back at what they went through, what their life experience was, they really could be sitting there filled with trauma, filled with rage, filled with all sorts of negative emotions, instead of this joy that's just bubbling right up. Because we know that the Dalai Lama was the chosen reincarnation, and at 5 years old, he was discovered as this reincarnation. They go around and they recognize who is the next one, and they bring him to the temple at that time. And around the time he was 15, the Chinese army came into Tibet, and they took over everything. And at one point, there was a rebellion, and the Dalai Lama was forced to flee his country at 15 years old, and he went over these mountains of snow and everything else, and now he lives in India. He's managed to create this refuge in the mountains of India that is where they practice all of the rituals, the culture, the religion, the Buddhist religion that he is in that hamlet, inviting people to experience what they might have experienced if they had gone to the mountains of Tibet, because it's still occupied by China. And so he's not able to return home. What this tells us is that this is a person who had to seek refuge. We could call them an immigrant. We could call him a displaced person. He watched and he recognized that his followers were slaughtered. And yet he won a Nobel Prize because his constant message was, how do we move forward with nonviolence? Nonviolence. And that was what his Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to him for. And he didn't do it silently. It wasn't just through prayer meditation. His consciousness got there through prayer and meditation, but he had a voice. And so I'm going to get to that a little bit more as we go into this lesson. But I want you to understand that these are spiritual men that are also moral leaders. They're men that their experiences and their spiritual practices transform them. Transform them. And just like our invitation when we talk about what Jesus says, what I can do, you can do, and more. I am the light, you are the light, don't hide it under the bushel. All of those are invitations for us to have the same transformation within. And then the Archbishop Desmond Tutu, he broke all sorts of social justice barriers. He was the first African black priest in the Anglican religion that he was associated with. He fought against discrimination for gender, and certainly apartheid. So he came back to South Africa and had a very, very strong voice about apartheid. But again, non-violence. But he didn't, non-violence, but his voice was always going. He was very, very instrumental in breaking through that barrier. And he worked with Nelson Mandela when he got released from prison on this Truth and Reconciliation. Another winner of the Nobel Peace Prize because of everything that he brought. And he never brought it through rage. He brought it through authenticity of the divine within, knowing this and living from this. And that is what this book is inviting us to recognize. No matter what challenge we think we have that maybe we want to call overwhelming, life's obstacles, an illness, could be finances, it could be loneliness, losing someone you love, any number of things that impact us where, and I've had this happen. I've had a grief where I felt my breath just being sucked right out of me. So it happens on the human side, and they're not saying it didn't happen to them that way too. They're not saying they're immune to the human experience, but what they're saying is that there is a path through it. That is what we're here to kind of see. How do we do that? What is this path through this? How do we pursue joy amid life's obstacles? So I'm going to start with what their definition of joy is. And this we touched on this, or we talked about this last Sunday. So the Dalai Lama and the Archbishop Tutu have said, the nature of true joy is a state of mind independent of external circumstances. It's not about happiness, which is we in Unity say absolute and relative, right? Absolute is a truth that never changes. God is one with me, absolute truth. That never changes. It's a beautiful day today. The weather is it's sunny and it's lovely. That's a relative, right? We could have a hurricane coming up the coastline and bring some rain and who knows what. So it's relative. The state of our mind for joy has nothing to do with the external. We find it within. Joy as a way of being, this is the within. The spiritual radiance born from a deep well-being and benevolence. Going deeper, Annie read that in the Daily Word so beautifully, taking a deeper dive into knowing what is our true nature. That our true nature is love. Our very nature is love. Our very nature is joy. Our very nature is goodness. I love benevolence in there because sometimes when we think of joy, how many of us think of joy and you think like, am I happy? Am I feeling good? Is my life nice? The sun's shining. Do I feel joyful? And what does the word benevolence sort of imply? That I'm caring, right? Benevolence, it's kind of like, it's not so much all about me. It's kind of like sort of shifts that focus a little bit. It's like I'm benevolent, I'm kind, I'm generous, I'm compassionate. What happens to you impacts me. I remember that we are connected. I remember that we are one. Joy is that way of being. And joy is the reward of seeking to give joy to others. Again, it's got to pour out. It's got to pour out. One of the spiritual principles that we talk about in Unity all the time is that we have to be in the flow. Eric Butterworth, right? In the flow. In the flow of what? Divine abundance, in the flow of love, in the flow, which means there is a flowing in and a letting go. It's an inlet and an egress. I can't hold on to joy about myself and have it be what we were just talking about, the spiritual radiance, this deep well-being, this knowing of my identity, unless I'm letting it pour out. That's the spiritual principles that we're built on here in Unity. is living inside out, knowing and connecting to this divine nature that we are, and then expressing it, because we are the expression of God. We are the expression of God. So, one of the things that we've been focusing on when we've been doing this class on prayer and everything is, what is the divine idea behind the challenge? That's a unity way of the language. And so one of the things might be, if I'm feeling sad about something, if I'm feeling lonely, it would be an invitation to say, what does joy feel like? And just sit with that. So here are some ideas of what true joy is, but what does joy feel like? What does it make you want to kind of move? Does it feel like it's energy that's lifting you up, putting a smile on your face, expanding your heart? What does joy feel like? What does joy smell like? It feels, it smells, it feels, it's all inherent within me. This is the very nature that I am. But I have to remember and awaken to what it is. And that is what the journey that we're on with these two spiritual giants, is that we can understand joy. One of the things that they both have said in this book is that our journey here on earth is one to experience love, compassion, and joy. And we cannot do that theoretically. We can only do it experientially. And think about this. You could sit there in your room and say, I want to learn how to swim. And you can watch your videos, your YouTubes. You know, now we can go to YouTube and learn how to do anything, almost. Up here, we can learn how to swim. We can even practice our strokes, right? The backstroke. If we get in the pool, are we going to be able to do it automatically? Now, that's actually a trick question, because the answer could be yes. The answer could be yes, because that's how powerful our mind is. That's how powerful our mind is. But for most of us, what happens is we are not there. We are magnificent in the making. We are magnificent. That is our nature. But we're waking up to this. So for most of us, if we watched the YouTube on swimming and we went into the pool, we would probably have to practice a bit. We would probably have to get comfortable, get relaxed, see what those moves really felt like in the water, see all of those kind of things. This practice of spiritual awakening is the same thing. It's not enough to understand it and say, yes, I agree with this. This makes total sense to me, that I am divine, that I have everything within me, that I can tap into joy no matter what the crisis is that is going on in the world around me right now. That when I actually turn on the news can make me very uncomfortable. So, how do I experience it then? How do I step into this practice? And that is where we're going to start right now. So the Dalai Lama starts with this exercise. It's called mental immunity. Mental immunity is just learning to avoid the destructive emotions and to develop the positive ones. Okay? We in Unity might say denial and affirmation. That's what came to my mind. So just learning, though. So there's more to it than is involved. It's not saying just say, okay, I'm enraged, I'm angry, I'm furious. This thing happened. And then what do I do with that? Would we call that a destructive emotion? I would call it a destructive emotion, because actually anger can lead to violence. And you know what? If you're that angry and you speak to somebody, you react and you just say something, that is violence. We don't often relate to how we speak to somebody and call it violence, but it is. If it's filled with anger and hate, if it's filled with that energy, that's violence. So how do we learn to avoid these destructive emotions? So the first place to start with is with mental immunity is to realize that I have to look at what I'm feeling. Talking about emotions here. What I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. I have to connect there. That's where I start. I have to be aware of what is coming up within me. He goes on, the Dalai Lama goes on to explain that as, let's say we have a situation where somebody upsets us. We're angry. We'll stay with this example. I'm furious and I'm angry. One of the first things he suggests is that we start to say, wow, why am I so angry? Why am I so angry? For most of us, we don't really always want to do this work, right? How many of us like sitting there and letting ourselves connect to whatever is the emotion and feeling, if it's negative, coming up? How many like that? It's not necessarily comfortable. But if we don't do it, we also know this about energy, right? Energy doesn't disappear. It's energy doesn't go away. You're going to either squash the energy down inside of you or it's going to come pouring out. So if it's anger, it's going to squash down inside of you and you're going to become, maybe health challenges or holding on to this inner rage, which will impact your everything. Or it comes out and you've pushed everybody away. So the first place is to start to say, what am I doing? And then he invites us to say, okay, that was a defense mechanism that I had up. But this other person is innately good, and they have a defense mechanism too. I have to look at that and understand that, because that right away, so I want you to hear what he's saying, and we could practice this and see how it works for you. Because what he's saying is, as soon as we start to connect to what is our defense mechanism, what we're feeling, we don't have to go back to childhood and work it out. Right now, what I'm saying is just to acknowledge, just to be awake and aware and say, wow, something in me is triggered. Something in me is reacting and responding here. But they're not coming at me because they're filled with hate. I may be responding with that's what I'm feeling, that they're coming with me to cause pain and my discomfort, and they're mad and all this. That's, what would we call that, mental projection? We might call that mental projection. I'm projecting what's triggering me out. So I want to remember, human nature is innately good. All. Take a breath in on that one, because if you look at what we have for this political climate right now, and you're hearing people that maybe are triggering you, I'm not saying one side or the other side, because I think on both sides people are being triggered, right? I think on both sides there is this undercurrent of separation and anger and language that is coming up. So if somebody is triggering you on the news, whatever's going on, can you stop and breathe into the fact that they are innately good? They are innately divine. Not saying their behavior, how they're thinking, what they're doing. I'm not saying all of that is innately good. All humans are innately good. And what the Dalai Lama says is, as soon as we start to connect to that, we start to move into understanding and growing and developing our own compassion and empathy. What the Dalai Lama is saying, that little bit of a shift is enough to start to diffuse our defenses. One of the things, like I said, I think in the beginning, was that what they talk about all the time is we start here, but it doesn't stay and end here. It has to go out. It has to go out. So if I am learning to avoid destructive emotions, I start with myself and I start connecting to what I'm doing, see if I'm doing mental projection, understanding that it's my perspective. I can shift a perspective, and we're going to go into that in a moment. But we're going to stay with this for the moment, that I can control my thoughts. I can shift to something positive. And that's where we're going next. Again, what I liken it to is the unity affirmations and denials, because we say, if I am, same story, if I'm angry about something, I can pause and I can say, you know what? This feeling of anger and frustration and fear is probably under everything. This feeling of fear and anger and whatever has no power over me. I'm not denying the reality. That's the other part of the mental immunity, is that what the Dalai Lama says is, if a situation happens, you look at it. Is it something that I can do something about? If so, do it. If it isn't something I can do about, then let it go. Don't focus on it. Don't worry on it, because how is that going to help anything? And he talks about two situations. The first one would be a storm is coming, and you're prepared. Is there something you could do about it? Yes, you can get prepared for the storm. Is there anything that you can do when the storm goes by? You can only hold on to your peace of mind, your inner peace. You can't control the weather. You can't control what's going to happen in your moment as the hurricane or the storm goes by. So there's the difference. And we all get to make these distinctions. Is it something that I can actually do? And what part of it do I need to let go of? And usually what we let go of is our need to control. All right, I want to control this. I want to control this situation. Our need to say, why is this happening? I don't deserve this. I can't believe this is happening. We let go of all of those thoughts. Those are the things that fuel the thoughts, the stories, the emotions, is what the thoughts and the story fuels the emotions. So this is not something we've never talked about here in Unity, right? We talk about this all the time, and yet it is a basic Buddhist principle, mental immunity. The second part of the step is that we can build, right? What did that say? I'll go back here. It said, we learn to avoid the destructive emotions, but then we develop positive ones. So how do we develop positive ones? The Dalai Lama explains that changing our emotions is quite hard. Changing our perspective is easy. So when I said you let go of the emotion, you recognize what it is, we don't have to sit there and try to turn our emotion of anger into joy. What we do is we change our perspective. And he says this is relatively easy. It's relatively easy, but it's like building a muscle. It's practice. It is a spiritual practice, but we have the ability. One of the things that he says is, if we have the ability to sit in our pain and suffering, and that is what the Buddha said. The Buddha said, life is pain and suffering. And so life is all about suffering or the ceasing of suffering. So if we have the ability to create more pain and suffering in our life by what we're attaching to all of our thoughts and emotions and everything else, he's saying we have the same ability to shift and create joy, to create peace, to create love in our life. And here's how you do it. A wider perspective is stepping back within our own mind to look at the bigger picture and to move beyond our limited self-awareness and our limited self-interest. We typically This is how we are built. This is our security, our safety, fight and flight. It's all about me. This is my world. This is what you did to me. This is what's happening in my life. When I listen to we'll go back to the news. If I'm listening to the news and all this stuff is happening, perhaps I get very fearful about stuff, and it's what's happening to you, but it could also be then what could be happening to me. If I think we're all in this thing together, it could cause fear. So, here's the thing. No me, no my, no mine. That's a meditation. That's a meditation. No me, no my, no mine. And I've done that meditation where that is all that's necessary. We don't have to do any more guided stuff. No me, no my, no mine. And you sit into that because our typical perspective is very narrow. It's very much about me. And so what he's talking about when he's talking about this wider perspective, when he's talking about stepping back, what he's looking at and talking about is it's about us. It's about we. If I can move into that idea of the interconnectedness of life, then I am seeing the bigger picture. I am developing empathy and compassion. I am doing what I'm here on this earth to do, which is to grow in love, compassion, and joy, to be here to pour out this positive energy, And I think that, to me, is one of the things that's so important right now. If we want to change something in our world, if we want to bring more kindness, perhaps to the way people are speaking and behaving with each other, these are the lessons. This is the focus that the Dalai Lama and Archbishop Desmond Tutu have. They say, it's not about me, it is about us. How do we do this? That's what their Nobel Prizes were about. They were giving instructions on how we can live into peace, compassion, empathy, caring, loving, kindness. One of the Bibles is, what is love, right? Weren't all those parts of the aspects of love that they talk about? We're all made as love. So, in this period we find ourselves in, if we let ourselves sit in that human part of us, which is those negative emotions, those destructive, that's the language that the Dalai Lama used, the destructive emotions of fear, anger. I'm fearful of what's going to happen. I'm angry that this is going on. Whatever it is, if it's all negative, my emotions are feeding into that. And we boil up more of that. If I can take a wider perspective, if I can remember to practice that I am living from this, joy is part of my inherent divine nature. Love is who I'm here to be and express. If I can live from that truth, now I'm bringing that energy into the world. I'm bringing it in with meeting perhaps ugly language with compassion, without letting it trigger me. We have to practice this, and they both explain prayer and meditation is how we develop this positive part. So we had the destructive emotions, and now how do we bring the positive, the good, the joy-filled emotions into the world? We do it with this practice. We do it by remembering our interconnectedness. We do it by remembering that we can shift our perspective. We can see the gift in the challenge. We don't have to get caught up, and we always remember that we are one, that we are interconnected, that we work on how do I bring my compassion and empathy into my everyday moments so that this is the energy that I'm pouring into the world today. Now, the Archbishop Desmond Tutu says that there's another step. Before I read this, so I'm going to go back here for one moment. The mental immunity was a exercise, was a process that we were invited to do in order to release the negative, and then this shifting of the perspective was to start to develop and build a positive, joy-filled way of approaching life. And really what it talks about is understanding also that all is well. All is well. All is well. All is God. That God is my source. And that we are all in this together. So one of the things that they did, the two of them, was they came up with these 8 noble truths. And we just talked about one, perspective. And so how do we build this joy? We build it with mind and heart. Sound familiar? We always talk in here in Unity about, we're mind and heart, divine mind and love. Wisdom, our opening prayer, always focuses on wisdom and love. The two in Unity go together, hand in hand. You want to have wisdom as you love. And you want to have love when you're doing wisdom, which is discernment, making judgments. You want to be able to access the love. So they're looking at both of those two aspects, head and heart. And so the mind, we'll put it this way, that's their language, mind and heart. And so the shifting the perspective is still training your mind. Mental immunity was training our mind to let go of the negative, and this perspective is training our mind to stay focused on our blended humanity, on our good, on love, on peace, on all of those things, seeing it from that perspective. And then the other are humor, humility. Humility always goes like this to me. I of myself can do nothing. It is the Father that does the work. That to me is humility. Humility recognizes that it's God within me that is moving me on this journey, moving me into my good, moving me into my joy. But the fourth one is acceptance. And then next Sunday, we're going to look at the ones from the heart. So we have perspective, humility, humor, and acceptance. And so now the Archbishop Desmond Tutu says, we must accept ourselves as we are. We must cultivate a deep acceptance of what is. We turn our faces to the wind and accept that this is the storm we must pass through. I love that analogy. Isn't that beautiful? We all have challenges in life. And when we're in this acceptance, accepting ourselves, which means we're accepting ourselves, we don't have to do this perfectly. This is a journey. It's not the destination. It is practicing, how do I do this? How do I catch what I'm doing and step into my truth? So we accept ourselves. That even with a strong spiritual practice, we might find ourselves caught off guard and furious. Has that ever happened to anyone here who has a practice that of prayer and meditation, that all of a sudden something happens and they might find themselves feeling very angry? Am I the only one? I better go sit down and do a little more work, right? Also, how about fear? How about fear? Even if you're praying and meditating every day, has anyone here felt a little fear in their life? Show of hands. Good, I'm not the only one. Okay. So the normal response is that, okay, we're all human. We're all human, because this is our emotional makeup, right? This is how we're made. We all have these. My story could be different than yours, that makes me angry, or that makes me fearful, or that makes me cry, or makes me smile. Our stories are different. Our worldview is different. But when we change our perspective, we get to change our worldview. And guess what? That's how we change the world. That's how we change the world. So our deepest acceptance, we turn our faces to the wind. All right, the wind to change, the storm is coming. We turn our faces to this wind and we accept that this is the storm we must pass through. I'm not resisting it. I don't necessarily even have to like it. But I can say, what is it here to teach me? That's the perspective. Quick interruption in this story with the one from the perspective with the Dalai Lama. So he was asked, how do you not stay enraged, having gone through being thrown out of your country, seeing all the people that were killed in that moment of time, not being able to be the leader that you were here to fully express? And his answer is, I can see it with sorrow. I see that. I have sorrow. I have compassion. I have a feeling of loss. I have those feelings. And I shift and say, it has given me a whole different opportunity in life. I've been allowed to go out, and I've had less conformity, and I have more freedom. I've been able to learn from other leaders. I've been able to talk more and help people have a different perspective. I have a bigger, broader, global group now that is aware of what I'm doing. It's the gift in the challenge. And you can have both. And you can have both. But if you're staying stuck in the pain and the loss, you're not able to have the joy we've been talking about through the challenge. So we can pass through any storm. We can. We can pass through any storm. Sometimes it doesn't feel that way. Sometimes it's just the easiest thing to just say, with God, all things are possible. That's our theme for this year. With God, all things are possible. It is the only place from which change can begin, acceptance. I have to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. How many of us have had, and I know I have, and I know the stories of the backstories of some of you here in this room too. Somebody that we may love that perhaps is caught up in addiction. And it's very hard to say, I have to accept that I might not be able to change the person. Okay? I might not be able to change the person. Is it my job to even want to change the person? Am I here to fix anybody? But I can be here to hold a prayer consciousness, a higher vision. I could say and hold that, I hold that this person wakes up to the truth of their wholeness. That they recognize and know that with God all things are possible. I see and behold the light of God within. I affirm the light of God is within each and every being right here, right now. If I stay focused on love and compassion, sending that energy out instead of, and I've been there, I have a brother and sister that actually passed away from the disease of addiction. And at one point, I thought I knew the best. Like, well, I'll just put it this way. Wouldn't common sense, this is how I thought, wouldn't common sense tell you there is a better way? Do something about it. Stop. So I went in with my Hulk. You can do this. Stop. Nobody can hear that. Nobody can hear that. But when you step back, that was what we were invited to do with the wider perspective, right? But when I step back and I see this is this soul's journey, who am I to know what each soul needs? But I stay in love. I stay in compassion. Maybe something will change in their life. it's not mine to know, because it isn't about the end results. Take the action, let go of the results. In fact, that's the last part of acceptance that I want to say. We set a goal. We set an intention. Here's the paradox. We set a goal, we set an intention, and then we let go. We don't try to control the path. We don't try to just focus on the end result. We just do what is ours to do. Pray, love, care, have a voice. Both of these men were not silent. Both of them they stood and they walked into their authenticity about social justice. And that's where we're going with our heart next Sunday. But we have to start here with us, right? We have to do our inner work, and then it comes out from that spiritual truth of joy. And Desmond Tutu made this Ubuntu. I am because we are. This is an African idea that he made popular, that I can't be a person unless I recognize that you are a person. We are one. This goes back to that interconnectedness of life. And that is what he lived by, that is what he taught, that is what I'm inviting us to fully embrace. I am because we are, and so it is. So let's take these ideas now into meditation. Just taking a deep breath, relaxing our body, relaxing our mind, releasing anything that is destructive, any thoughts, any judgments, criticisms of others, of self. Let it all go. And I shift my perspective to the truth. The truth is that I am here to grow in love, compassion, joy. And as I grow, I am able to express these very qualities into my life and into the world. I am a blessing to the world. And now we listen.
May the blessings of God rest upon you. May God's peace abide in you. May the presence of God illuminate your heart now and forevermore. May the blessings of God rest upon you. May God's peace abide in you. May the presence of God illuminate your heart now and forevermore. Now and forevermore.
And now let's take a breath in and move in our chair. Connect to this present moment and open our eyes as we are ready. And now we do a big shift. We invite our usher up. This is the time where we have another spiritual practice. This one is giving and receiving, that we know the truth, that unity has always talked about the importance of prosperity. Charles Fillmore wrote a whole book early in the formation of the unity movement on prosperity, that as we give, we have to give and open up. And it was just kind of exactly what we were talking about, releasing and opening to something new. So we have to give in order to receive. And I invite everybody here today to do just that, to support your spiritual family. So let's take out our love offerings. And for those of you that are joining us virtually, you can participate in this important part of supporting our church. You can go to our website and press our PayPal button to make your donation, or simply mail a check. I want to remind everybody, I do this every Sunday, but it's an important thing, because what it actually does is it allows us to know ahead of time, have a sense of what is coming into the church as far as donations go. So you can do our 3G giving, which is basically that you pick your credit card that you would like to use and give the number to the church, pick the date you would like to have it charged, and the amount that you want. And that will happen automatically each month, and you don't have to remember your pocketbook, your wallet, or any of those kind of things. We make it very easy here. So let us now say our affirmation together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, and all that I give and receive.
All right. Let's work together. Together we stand, divided we fall. Come on now, people, let's get on the ball and work together. Come on, let's work together. Come on, people, Well, make someone happy, make someone smile. Let's all work together and make life worthwhile. Let's work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, I say together we will stand. Every boy, girl, woman, and a man. I said that together we will stand. Every boy, girl, woman, and a man.
Thank you so much. And together it was wonderful. Actually, we are very blessed to have this beautiful music available every single Sunday. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's bring up our love offerings now. We're going to bless them. So let's just go into acceptance and gratitude. Thank you, God. Thank you for these gifts that are freely flowing. All of these divine ideas that are just here present, allowing ourselves to feel them, connect them, to have them lifting us to new possibilities. The love that is present in this room. All of the financial support that is so freely flowing in to enable us to do the things that is ours as a church community to do. We say thank you, and so it is. And now, our platform person, Reverend Annie, is going to tell us what is going on, Annie.
Yeah, a lot going on at UCR this week, or this month, I should say, right? Okay, so as we celebrate the World Day of Prayer this month, we're doing a fun craft activity here at UCR, and I'm going to invite Melanie up to talk a little bit more about that.
First, is Peggy not rocking those sunglasses on the drums? I heard the music, I thought, oh my God, that sounds so good. Oh my gosh, she looks so good. So I'm Melanie, I'm the Unity Church of Raleigh prayer ministry leader, and this is the last day that we are drawing our rocks. This one says, you are loved. I love that. Come read them. Come get a rock or two, write your word, and then today before you head home, take a couple of rocks with you. Put them in your yard, put them at your favorite coffee shop, outside the door, put them on a trail you like to walk, but just take the rocks and spread some of the love from these. It's so fun, and it's just a great way for us to bring hands and feet to spirit in our world. So thanks. I'll meet you over there at that table.
I love the tradition of painting the rocks. I still go to my fitness center. 3 years ago, I painted a rock and left it in the fitness center. It's still there in the ladies' room. Yeah, love. So it's just beautiful. And now I'm going to ask Betty to come up and talk about our Halloween chili cook-off.
So this is our third year Halloween Chili Cook-Off fundraiser, and it's on the 25th from 5 to 7:30 p.m. You can come in costume, or you don't have to come in costume, just come and have fun. Excuse me. We're also going to have music trivia with Craig and Melanie, and then we also have our dollar raffles, which everybody always likes to do. And then let's see what else we have got going on. And then you can donate, so you can go in the back. We got sign-up sheets. You can donate items for the raffle. You can sign up to volunteer to be at the event. Now, next week, we're going to have where you're going to actually purchase your tickets. But come and have some fun with us on the 25th, where everyone seems to really, oh, yeah, and the chili. You can also donate a chili and then win a contest for the chili, for the best chili. Mary Jane's not here right now, but she won last year. So please come in and have fun.
Awesome. Thank you, Betty. Thank you. Also in October, Melanie, our prayer minister leader, is inviting everyone to our October UCR Zoom prayer ministry meeting. And it's actually going to occur on October the 2nd from 7 to 8 p.m. And Melanie is calling it trick or treat, so I think it should be a fun meeting. She's going to use words for good in this Thursday's prayer meeting. So join us. It's always fun to see how Melanie takes us through the process of prayer and what it means and how we can manifest that in our lives. So join us on Thursday evening, October the 2nd from 7 to 8 p.m. It'll be via Zoom. You can go on the website and just click on and join us. Next Sunday is Birthday Sunday, so please bring your potluck dish and let's have some fun together as we share that, all our birthday people. Our core outreach project for September is our beloved tradition of Coats for Kids. And Nancy has bought this beautiful, I'm going to show it to you, this little cute coat. And she just wanted everybody to know you can go to Costco and get this coat for $14.99. It's under $15, brand new coat. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. So this September fundraising Coats for Kids, you have one more week to bring the coats and put them over there on the table. And Nisha or her daughter will pick those up and take them and share them with the children that are in need. For more details on any of this, just go to unitychurchofraleigh.com and you can find all this information on there too for additional information. Our sister ministry, Unity Holistic Wellness Center, continues to have Tai Chi classes. They're on Monday at 10 a.m. and also Monday evenings at 6. We have yoga on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and Tai Chi beginners class is Thursday at 10 a.m. We at Unity here also have a caregiver support group meeting that's going to occur today at 4:30 via Zoom. So again, go to our unitychurchofraleigh.com website and you'll be able to join that class. There's a celebration for the 2025 United Nations International Day of Peace in Durham on Saturday, October the 4th at 10 a.m. till 1:30. Anyone interested in coming together to create this beautiful vision of our world and praying for our world leaders, please. There are some flyers in the back that will give you a little bit more information. So again, the celebration of the 2025 UN International Day of Peace is going to happen in Durham on October the 4th at 10:30. A workshop called Declutter Your Life, Attract What You Want, will be next Saturday on October the 4th from 10 a.m. to 12. Join Sherry, our Queen She-Bee, a certified life coach, and learn 3 powerful ways to declutter your space, your life, your mind, and get more energy in your life. Make room for new opportunities, Sherry say, and more balance in your life. The Holy Shift is an international, let me give you that again. The Holy Shift is an interfaith conversation on peace and reconciliation. It's going to be held Saturday, October the 18th, here at UCR from 10 to 1 p.m. We've had this before, and we've had good attendance and a really nice exchange, so please think about joining us for this. It's an enlightening conversation about new, perfect, connecting visions of peace in our world. For details on all of these events, again, you can register or just go for more information at Unity Holistic wellnesscenter.org or unitychurchofraleigh.com. The Healing Pearl Circle is right after this service. Do we have any kids today? No kids? Okay, so now let's welcome Reverend Ellen back.
We'll say our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us.
Light of God surrounds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
Love of God enfolds us.
The power of God protects us.
Power of God protects us.
The presence of God watches over us.
The presence of God watches over us.
Wherever we are, God is.
Wherever we are, God is.
And all is well.
All is well.
And now let's stand and sing our peace song.
Yet there is peace on earth, and yes,
as we go out from here today, I invite you to hold on to that truth that joy is inherent within me. It is part of my divine nature, and I can express it anytime I choose. And so it is. Amen. And now let us do our prayer circle. Unity was founded on prayer. And we have a powerful prayer ministry here in our church. Let's see if we can make a circle. And Peggy, can you grab our prayer box? And okay, so we know here in Unity that we pray knowing and affirming divine truth. So let's just do that together. Let's just move into the idea of divine love. What does divine love feel like? Love, joy. Love, which is that energy that is within us, that lifts us, that heals, that unites. This is the love, unconditional love, that we can look past the appearances and know and affirm the truth, that we are one, that we are each made perfect and whole, that we are good, inherently good, that we are love, and that we can choose to release what is blocking us so that we can at any moment, at any time, be this very expression of peace and love and joy in our world. And now into this sacred space, let's either out loud or silently put the name of the situation or a person that you want lifted, that you want healed, that you want wisdom and light and love to fill. And we can do that now. And so it is, amen. We do have prayer chaplains. You see there are Peggy and Melanie and Nancy. Those three ladies are wearing the purple stole. They have come to be, they're prayed up. So if you've got something that you want to just talk about, just release, to be refocused on truth, see one of those ladies, and that is what they will do with you. And so it is. Stay for conversation and rock painting.